Good afternoon, everyone. We're here today to announce an arrest of a sex trafficking fugitive. I'm going to introduce the people up here with me. I have U.S. Marshal Bayless. I have AUSA Assistant United States Attorney Jennifer Harold, who is prosecuting the case. I also have Deputy United States Marshal Williams. We've got Sheriff Crawford. We have, as well as Kanawha County Deputy Sheriff Trevor DeBille. I'll also note that the underlying investigation on this case was done by Homeland Security. On Friday, the U.S. Marshals, with the cooperation of other law enforcement, were able to announce the capture and arrest of Tiwan Robert Bailey, also known as Quick, age 48, of Charleston, on federal charges related to sex trafficking of multiple victims. There's 4 total victims in this case, one of which was a child, an underage victim. There's 2 other defendants that were charged that have previously been arrested and are currently detained. Their names are Kerry Roy and David Lee White. Today at approximately 11 a.m., Mr. Bailey waived all of his hearings in the Eastern District of Kentucky. He was captured in Lexington. He appeared before a United States magistrate there. He waived all further proceedings there and will be transported back maybe this week, depending on the time schedule. Might be early next week for his arraignment here in Charleston. There's 4 counts of sex trafficking. There's an count of obstruction and a count of conspiracy. These acts occurred near Charleston and Rand here in Kanawha County. Mr. Bailey was indicted on the indictment's now open. It has been sealed for a while until we could get him arrested. Was indicted on July 23rd of 24. The arrest warrant was issued on July 30th, and he's been evading capture and arrest since that time. I'm not going to get into the details because I don't want to share any law enforcement sensitive information related to his arrest. But I will say this was a high priority of all law enforcement involved. And I know the Kanawha County Sheriff's Office, as well as the United States Marshal Service, spent a lot of time, energy, and resources on capturing Mr. Bailey, and ultimately was successful. This is once again a great example of what happens when agencies work together. I'm not going to get into the specifics of the charges because as we stand here right now, Mr. Bailey is presumed innocent of these charges, and unless we prove him guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. So I'm not going to get in the actual details. I will say the indictment's unsealed if anybody wants to review that. But this was someone we've been looking for a long time, and we were able to capture him last Friday. And I'm going to give a lot of credit to law enforcement because a lot of credit is due. I'd now like to introduce Sheriff Crawford of Kanawha County for some brief remarks.
Thank you, U.S. Attorney Thompson. I can't say enough. Obviously, we stand before you collectively together as a team. And I think what's most important to this is how the agencies work together and continue those working relationships to bring these people and hold them accountable. Our relationships have never been stronger or better with the Marshal Service, along with our other partnering agencies and the U.S. Attorney's Office. This is not uncommon for us here in Kanawha County to be able to reach out and work cases together where we can get the best outcome. So we're proud, along with, we got many of our partners there in the back as well that are here. What you see is just great teamwork. There's no individuals in this. It's all about coming together as one and making sure we're able to apprehend and catch those people that need to be taken off the street. So if you think that we're not out there, rest assured, and I promise you that we're not going to stop till we get you. And at the end of the day, we'll let the justice system carry out and work the way it's supposed to. But hats off to the Marshal Service and the U.S. Attorney's Office and our men and women that are out there every day doing the good work. Thank you.
Sheriff. I'd now like to introduce United States Deputy Marshal Williams. He's going to speak on behalf of the Marshal Service.
Thanks, sir. Hey, we just want to take a quick second and make sure that everyone knows that this was a group effort. Multi-agency cooperation is the reason we were able to catch this guy. And I just want to make sure I thank the individuals that I know assisted me during this fugitive investigation. So first off, I thank HSI for their assistance with their case. I'd like to thank the Kanawha County Sheriff's Office, the Metro Drug Enforcement Network team. They assisted quite a bit throughout this. The West Virginia Fusion Center was a big asset to us as well. As the U.S. Attorney stated, we can't speak to a lot of specifics on how this came about, but I would like everyone to know that it was a total group effort. So thank you.
I'm going to finish up here my comments. We'll open it up for questions. Once again, this, like I said, this is a case where there was a lot of partners that worked on this, some of who are standing behind me, some of whom are not. So this was great teamwork. I know I participated personally in several meetings on this. I think Ms. Harold updated me at least on a weekly, if not daily basis on how the progress was going. There was a lot of cooperation between all the parties involved. And now we got to do our next job, and that's prosecuting the case. With that being said, I'm going to open it up to questions. I'm going to ask one thing, because we do record these for other people to watch. If you have a question, we do have a microphone. Apparently we've got some questions that they could hear us because we have microphones, but they couldn't hear the questions being asked. So if you do have a question, I'm going to ask you to speak in that microphone so we make a good record of it. Does anyone have any questions?
Okay. Yeah, I was just gonna. You said so. It's been like a while since. How long exactly did it take to apprehend him?
We started working on this pretty hard July 30th of last year, and there's been a lot of cooperation. There's been many different leads that were followed, and ultimately we had one that was successful. So yes, this has been doing my math in my head, a 5 to 6 month investigation on his whereabouts.
Did Tiwan Bailey actively trying to avoid law enforcement, did that play any kind of factor as far as how much teamwork was kind of needed for this?
He definitely did not want captured, and I think he was got to be careful because there might be other charges coming as a result of this. But normally it doesn't take 5 to 6 months to find someone unless they're doing something to evade the capture or they have a lot of help. So I don't want to go any further into that because there could be additional charges forthcoming. But yes, he was very active in trying to avoid this arrest. Other questions? All right. Once again, I want to thank everyone on this. This was a high priority target that we were able to take off the streets, and now we can finish the job and continue prosecuting the case.